Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So today's upload is going to be, as you can tell by the title of this video, why this upcoming pattern change could mean a snowy outcome or just heavy snow for the US and really cold temperatures. This pattern change will bring, it will be pretty monumental, as it will really be the first taste of not even fall, but possibly winter for many. And for the south, it will be a first taste of cooler temperatures. For the north, it will be the first frost, the end of the growing season. And this has been consistent with both models, European, GFS, and several other ensembles. So let's just dive into this. Before we do, however, consider subscribing to this channel. I really, make these videos for you guys. If you want anything about, daily weather updates, extreme weather, severe thunderstorms, winter storms, all of that sort, pattern updates, I do all of that, so really consider supporting this channel, and thank you for that. So let's move on with this and first talk about what the GFS is showing. And you may be thinking that I pulled this picture out of one crazy model run that the GFS had, and it was kind of like a fluke. No, this storm is supported by the European and the GFS. This has been consistent for the past 5 days with the GFS showing a storm. And look, it's still there. Very heavy snow. This is just one image around, I think this was Friday, 6 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And notice how very, very heavy snow on the backside. So Minnesota, Wisconsin, all these locations would be seeing snow. The first snow way ahead of schedule, and I predicted that for October it seemed like many of these locations could see snow, and many people would be like, yeah, no, not a chance. But here we are a couple of weeks later, and we're seeing snow across Minnesota, southern Minnesota, possibly northern Iowa, where they usually see snow in November 15th, around. That's like the first time around northern Iowa. And you can see the storm is powerful, has a large cold front, has a strong warm front right up there, and a C comma shaped head snow, and that is just, you could tell that this is going to be blizzards, possibly blizzard conditions, very heavy snow. And look at those temperatures. That's the 540 line. I don't know if you can see that right there. That's 540, and that's basically where the 32-degree line is. But if we were to progress this on tropical tidbits, the 32-degree line gets somewhere right along here. So before it kind of starts retreating. So this could, this definitely could mean very heavy snow and lots of cold air for the U.S. if this were to set up. But here's the 6 to 10 day outlook showing why this pattern change, this shift. Basically, this storm, I showed the storm as a first slide because this is what's going to kind of bring that pattern change. This giant, mega-sized snowstorm. It's going to be, you can see right behind it, that chill, and that chill is just going to stay in place for a while. And once it does decide to move, another one's going to come in without really an additional storm. So once that pattern gets fired up, it will just continue itself kind of like on a self-repeating cycle. And if we were to go to the forward, you can see here's the 6 to 10 day outlook. This is from the 10th through the 14th, so this would be after that snowstorm. And you could see that, yeah, very chilly air would continue across much of the country, especially across the west and the northwest. So yes, that would mean very, very possibly chilly air for the northwest, and possibly some heavy mountain snow. Ski resorts in Colorado, Wyoming, Montana may be opening up, Idaho, Washington, making some snow across these conditions. I mean, temperatures will be very cold. This is way below average, and if your average is 40, say, in a ski resort right now, you may be looking at 30s and 20s during the day on an average between this October 10th to 14th time frame. Now notice this is the 8 to 14 day outlook, and this I think ends 8 to 14, so this is from the 16th through the 23rd, 24th, something like that. And you can see that the colors are less dramatic, but that is because these colors don't show the significance or the I guess the magnitude of the below average temperatures, but they show rather the confidence. And notice these numbers: 40. The Climate Prediction Center, which is run by National Weather Service, which is run by NOAA, you can see they put out 40% chance of being below average across these locations. But this is very natural, as this is the 8 to 14 day outlook, so they're much less confident in this. And even a couple days ago they were showing warmer temperatures for the 8 to 14 day outlook, but now they have switched it around just 2 days ago they were showing for the same date or similar date range above average across the country and these locations, where they're now showing below average. So this just is a testament as to how quickly this situation onset. I mean, a couple days ago we weren't even thinking about the potential for such a big storm, but now things have really intensified. I made a video about it yesterday. Many people have watched it, and many people are feeling already some chill that has come with the first wave, which is not even comparable to what's possibly going to come this week. Also, let's get into the teleconnections now. Teleconnections are basically what we get from satellites, what we get from models. It's a combination of different things, and it's basically an indice. This one in particular is the AO, so Arctic Oscillation, and this is basically showing you what the observed ones were. So you could see, dating back all the way to June of this year. They have by the way, if you go on, if you just type it in, the AO or NAO records of NOAA, they could bring you the records, of like the archive data of whether it was negative or positive, of what time, all the way back, I think, to the 1950s. So if you want to take a look at that, you can. But this is, this only is through June 2019, and you can see it was up, down, up, down. Usually during the summer, it doesn't have that much of an impact as it does during the winter, the AO and the NAO. But look at this. Look at this. I mean, just it goes up right here, October, and then it takes a crash down into late October, around the mid-time October, where we're supposed to expect the coldest and the coldest and snowiest conditions. So a AO, and then it shows some models putting it back up to the north. Again, that's just one model. This is like probably 30 or 40 models combined. But this is what a negative AO looks like during the fall and winter. And you can see it usually brings below normal temperatures across a good portion of the country. Now this could differ a little bit based on the exact layout of where this forms. So the AO may reach these locations, but I don't know really what I'm trying to say here, but I do, but I just can't put it to words right now. So the jet stream of the AO can sometimes bring below normal temperatures to these locations. Sometimes it can be more centered across these locations, but generally here's what it does. It brings below normal temperatures for a good portion of the northeastern and the eastern U.S. and the northern U.S. below normal, and usually along with this, it's some snowy conditions, and usually before this happens, there is like a big storm or an onset that kind of brings this whole thing to fruition, and that's what we will be seeing with this giant snowstorm that's going to be occurring across, the Minnesota, Wisconsin, and North Dakota, way prematurely to where we'd normally see it. So, usually across parts of northern Wisconsin, your first frost would be, well, your average first frost would already have happened. I think it would be somewhere around now. But you'll be seeing a snow. The frost was around average for many of those locations, maybe a bit ahead of time. But the snow, I mean, portions of North Dakota already have seen their first snow, and according to many sources, you're not supposed to see snow till November or late October. And look, they got snow in. I think I saw it on a radar a couple days ago. It was like October 1st of something of that sort. The next thing I want to look at is the NAO, which is similar to the AO, has very similar impacts, just another indice, kind of to support my evidence, support my reasoning as to why I think this upcoming pattern change will be cold and snow. Look, yeah, there has been dips, down, up, down throughout the summer. Doesn't really matter. The impacts are just less felt as they are in early winter through late spring. And look at that. It could possibly go up, maybe this week won't be too awfully cold. We'll be way chillier than what we saw last week. Last week was just way above average, but then look, it dives, and it's obviously summer showing it barely going into the negative indices, while summer showing it going into the -2 indices, which would be pretty big dip in the jet stream. And yeah, that a negative NAO leads to something like this. You could see very similar storm track across the eastern, the central U.S., kind of going from southwestern Canada to southeastern U.S., and you could see that this is kind of like a different angle. It shows it from, I guess, the point of, like, if you were to zoom out of Puerto Rico and take a picture of the, I don't know why they exactly did this, but they wanted to emphasize that there would be a high pressure right here, and this could produce, if this was winter, some big nor'easters, a big blocking pattern. And speaking of a blocking pattern, we could be looking at again this cold kind of sticking around for quite a while. Some of these conditions have been setting up the whole summer, getting warm temperature around the Gulf Coast of Alaska, that could lead to a blocking pattern. And then basically what that does is what the name infers or implies, that it's going to block the cold, and the jet stream will just have no other choice but to continuously dip. And if you look at the long range models, that's what they're trying to hint at. So this may not be just, you know, a short little event or just one burst of Arctic air. The first one may be the most significant, but it does not look like if we will be recovering to the way above average temperatures, or even, you know, quite frankly above average in the future. You could see that this is just the snowfall outlook for that one storm. I mean, look at that. Look at those amounts. Possibly towards the northern tip of Minnesota, 20 inches of snow, not out of the question. Again, this is very long range, but we've noticed that these models have been very consistent. The European is in agreement with this, the GFS is showing this, and some of the ensembles are. So this is, I have pretty high confidence that this will be occurring of some nature. Where exactly heavy the snow will lie, it may lie here, may lie there, we don't know, but it seems like the northern plains are in for a snowstorm. So thank you guys so much for watching. Consider liking the video, consider subscribing to the channel. I'll catch you all guys on the next episode. See ya. Bye.